everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a recent 50% off Sephora haul. So as you guys know, Sephora will randomly put stuff up on their website that is 50% off, and I took advantage of it the other day and I bought the Beauty Blender foundation. I also got this concealer from Lancome. I got this palette from Pat McGrath. I'm excited to kind of apply them and let you guys know how I feel about them as I'm applying them. So as you guys know, I recently had lip filler put in. I had it done on Tuesday. Today I'm actually filming this on Saturday. So my lips are kind of swollen, kind of hurt, kind of lumpy. You will see the struggle later on in the video on trying to get my lips to even look halfway normal because they're so lumpy. Everybody keeps telling me that the lumps are normal, but it's kind of driving me crazy. Now, I bought this, which is the Marc Jacobs, what is this called again? This is the Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick. This formula is just very, very soft, and it just didn't really work with the look I was going for today. So I didn't wear that in today's video. I actually just put something else on. I also picked up this from Shiseido. This is the eye-opening Essence. I'm excited to play around with this product a little bit more. Obviously, I can't just use it one time and then tell you guys I like it or not. Products like these, you really have to use them for quite a while in order to know if you like them. But this is supposed to give the under eye kind of like a cooling sensation. And it did do that when I applied it before I went in with my foundation and concealer and stuff. So I'm excited about this product. I've heard a lot of people really love it. It had great reviews on the Sephora website and it was half off. So I went ahead and picked it up. I also bought the new Marc Jacobs mascara. Now this obviously was not 50% off. I just bought this at full price. It's a brand new mascara. They just released it and I wanted to pick it up and try it out. So that's what we're doing in today's video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the makeup look. Okay, so let's get started with this box that I got from Sephora. My lips are still a little swollen. It just kind of is what it is. When I talk, they look a little funny, but we're gonna look past it. So the first product I got was this from Shiseido. This is the Waso Eye Opening Essence. And this was, I think, half off. So I was really excited to try it. It had really great reviews. And I'm always looking for a really good, like, eye product. Take a small drop and smooth it over your eye area. It can be used under or over makeup. So that's kind of cool. So it comes like this. It's got this kind of cool little, like, dilly dad on it. It's kind of cool. But anyway. So I'm just going to put oh shiz, that's probably enough for both under eyes. Don't do as much as I did. So I'm just going to kind of like, I'm going to rub this in and like, you know, just see what it does. It says it's supposed to like waken the eyes. Oh, it feels really cooling underneath my eyes. Like it's got kind of like a cooling sensation. It's an instant icy eye essence inspired by Japanese a vitamin-packed Daikon condiment, moisture-rich jelly droplets lessen the appearance of dark circles and under-eye puffiness. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like a jelly. And as you rub it out, it has a little bit of the beads in it, but then as you rub it out, they go away. But it definitely has like a really cool cooling sensation. And it would probably be even better if you kept it in like a skincare refrigerator. But it does have a cooling sensation. It's very interesting. I'm kind of curious about it. So it feels like it's rubbed in really good. And yeah, I like it. So far, so good. I wanted to try this. I didn't actually buy a new primer, but I got this sample from Lilah B. We all know Lilah B is kind of pricey. But this is the Glow Priming Oil. So it's a 3-in-1 serum, moisturizer, and primer. So it's kind of like a hybrid product. We're gonna go ahead and try it. They make the bubble look so big, but there's really not that much product in there. You can see it's kind of liquidy, like it's running down my face. And you can definitely smell the oils, and that might have been way too much. That was way too much, you guys. Don't use that much. You can smell the essential oils. I'm never really like a huge fan of using oils as a primer unless you're really dry. The only time that I recommend using a oil for a primer, if you're going to go in with like a more mattifying foundation, let's just say that you love that foundation, it's really long lasting, but it might dry you out a little bit. Sometimes going in with a priming oil before will really help with that. I might let it sit here for maybe 5 to 10 minutes before going in with foundation, because sometimes if it's too oily and then you go over top of it with foundation, it just doesn't really work the greatest. Okay, so let's move on to foundation. So this was like half off. I picked up the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. I know that so many people love this foundation. I remember trying this foundation. I don't really remember how I felt about it. And I think the shade that I had was too light. So my thought process was, I was gonna buy a darker shade, and then if the shade was too dark, I could lighten it up with the lighter shade that I have. Funny how that plan didn't quite work like I thought it would, because I can't find the light shade. So this is the shade 3.7 Warm Olive. You can close it on the back so that you won't push the pump down, or you can, you know, open it up and push the pump. It might work. It might be a little bit dark, but if I like it, you know, it'll be a good shade for the summer. I feel like my skin's a little tacky, but it's not oily. The shade's a little dark, but like I said, this might match me once I get a little bit of a tan. And I don't have any fake tan on my face. Oh, and my lips hurt like a mofo. I haven't applied foundation since I got my lips done, so this might be interesting. I would say this shade is very similar to the Pat McGrath shade 18. So if you wear shade 18, then this might be a pretty good match for you. What I've noticed is that it's really, really lightweight. Like it melts right into the skin. And with the sponge, I got a pretty decent medium coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some with a brush on this side. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit better coverage with a brush. I always get better coverage with a brush, which is one reason why I like to apply my foundation with a brush and then go over it with a sponge, because then I get the best of both worlds. I get the coverage from a brush and I get the smooth, like natural skin look with a sponge. The primer is really making this foundation look really, really healthy and almost kind of dewy. So I don't know if it's the primer, but I really like this foundation so far. I like how it's kind of blending in the skin, and it feels and looks really, really healthy and radiant. I prefer the brush side. The brush side just looks a little bit more smooth than the sponge. As you can see, the sponge still allows the skin to come through. You can tell I need to redo my fake tan. Like my hands are white and my, you know, it's time. I normally do my fake tan on Sunday and today is Saturday. I actually really, really like this foundation, the way it looks so far. I think this looks really, really pretty. I've heard a lot of people say how much they love this foundation. A lot of my friends that are creators love it. A lot of my followers love it. You know, I've even heard Tati talk about how much she loves it. And I think this just looks really, really pretty. I will definitely let you guys know, you know, maybe in a pinned comment or something in the comment section down below, how the foundation and concealer and all the other stuff that I got lasts throughout the day. But so far, I love this. I think this is very natural, very healthy, and very beautiful. So let's get my concealer out of the box. Okay, I forgot what I bought for concealer. This is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Camouflage Ultra High Coverage Concealer. Now, I bought this in the shade 320 Bisque Warm. And the reason why I got this shade is because I already have this concealer, but the shade that I have is much darker. The shades in this is very, very wonky, you guys. This is the shade. Okay, this is the old one that I have. This is the shade I bought of the new one, 320 Bisque Warm, which is an 04 beige. So this is the new shade that I got, which I think will work. It's not gonna like highlight my skin or anything. Like it's not gonna give me any of a highlighted effect. But this one was just way too pink. It looked almost cool toned and it just doesn't work for my skin. So I'm kind of excited to try the new shade that I got. The first time I heard about this concealer was from Angie on Hot and Flashy. And I've always wanted to try it, but the first one I bought, the shade was just weird and I just never repurchased it. So when I saw this pop up, on the Sephora, you know, half off sale, I went ahead and grabbed it. So I'm just going to put some here on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use a concealer brush to apply it. Apply it in the areas that I want it. It feels like you don't need very much of this. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's a concealer that you really want to use very much of. But the shades are weird. They're much darker than they look online. I struggled trying to find a good shade in this. Okay, that looks really good. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Wow. Okay, that is so natural for being a full coverage concealer. So it gives you the full coverage. It gives you a little bit of a shine, like a healthy under eye, but it's undetectable on the skin the way that it looks. It's really beautiful. I mean, it just looks really natural. The foundation looks beautiful. I mean, so pretty. Of course, I'm going to try it with my regular primers and different primers to see how it performs. But so far, the concealer is like blowing my mind right now. It's absolutely beautiful. My only complaint that I have found with this concealer is the shades. The shades are very, very hard to pick online. Very hard to pick. This is 320 and it is lighter than 260. So I don't know exactly how the shade range goes. If you guys have used this and you understand the shade range, let us know in the comments down below, because I think if I could understand how the shade range works in this, I would like it much more. Also, you get almost a ½ ounce of this concealer, and a little bit goes a really long way. So this is pretty cost efficient, you know, for being a higher ended brand. But I know this concealer's been around a really long time, and I am just completely impressed with it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. That's all I got for the Complexion from like the 50% off sale. So I'm just going to go ahead and use like my products that I have here, you know, that I have fallen in love with. I don't think I'm going to contour today. I'm not really in the mood. So I think I'm just going to go straight into my bronzer. I'm going to grab the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in shade Tan. I can tell the foundation is a little too dark because of the way that the bronzer is applying. I have to go in a little bit heavier handed. I'm going to use this blush. I haven't used this in a minute. So I'm going to use this from Hourglass. It's in the shade Incandescent Electra. And then I'm going to grab some of my Hourglass powder. This still has my kissy lips on it from the last video because I love it so much. And I'm just going to buff the powder over top of everything and kind of, you know, smooth out those lines. I really like this foundation, you guys. I really, really, really do. I think it's so pretty. Off camera, I went ahead and finished my brows. So I'm going to grab some of my Charlotte Tilbury powder and just kind of set it in this area. I like to just, you know, bring it in my T-zone. Oh, my lips are so swollen and they're so lumpy. But for those of you that have been curious, I will be creating a video. Obviously I didn't film the procedure. I was far too nervous to film that procedure, you guys. I was so nervous, which I will give you the scoop and my whole experience. I've been taking a ton of photos, kind of letting you guys know what they look like and, you know, what they've looked like from the day that I got them. I'm going to take this highlighter palette. I mean, you guys probably saw that coming, right? So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the high points of my cheeks. Love this stuff. Wow, I have a larger Cupid's bow. I still, it's so weird. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how weird it is. Okay, so let's move on to the eyes. So this palette was half off. This is the Pat McGrath Golden Opulence palette. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was released for Lunar New Year in January. I'm not 100% sure. I just didn't pick it up during the time that it launched. And when I saw it half off, I was like, yeah, well, maybe I'll try it. All right, so this is... Okay, so this is already a big problem. It doesn't want to stay shut. It's because of the packaging. The packaging is really luxe. It's different than some of her other 6-pan quad palettes. They normally have like just regular material. This one's kind of a glittery, kind of harder material, and it's kind of hard to like spring it open and have it stay open. Kind of just a real pretty pinky gold. It's funny because it's called the Golden Opulence, but there's only like one gold shade in here, which I'm totally fine with. I'm going to take a brown eyeliner pencil. I'm going to use the Pat McGrath, and I'm going to go on my upper waterline. Okay, I'm going to take my Refer #1 brush, and I'm going to go into this light shade right here, like right here in the crease as a transition. Oh, but it's got good pigment. I'm just going to sweep this all up into the inner corner and the outer corner and kind of carve out my crease. I'm putting some of that on my lower lash line, kind of dragging it out a little bit lower. And I'm going to go into this shade right here. I'm going to go directly right here in the crease. And then right here on the outer corner. Now I'm going to mix between both of the mattes. So I picked up both mattes on the brush, and I'm just going to diffuse this line out right here on the crease with both of those. And then I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to go into the lighter matte and just diffuse this edge right here. By the way, I'm using the Refer #13 brush to do this. I love this brush for like blending. This brush is the Refer #2. I love using this brush to deposit color. So I'm depositing a little bit more color. I'm gonna go into the lighter matte, and I'm just gonna diffuse my crease. I'm going to go in with the Sigma Flat Definer E15 brush. I'm going to go into that dark matte, buff this right on the lash line. Kind of smoking that into the lash line versus putting it on with like a small like pencil brush. I want the lighter matte right here below the lash line. And by using a flat definer to put the dark shade right on the base of the lashes, it's just really hard to put a dark shade on the base of the lashes with a brush like this. So using a brush like this and start kind of buffing it in, it works so much easier, and it looks much more blown out, much more smooth on that lower lash line. I want to apply this shade right here, and I'm going to put it right on the center of my lid. Ooh. That's a really pretty purple. I take a little bit of that and on a brush and bring it up into my crease. I want it to kind of blow out into my crease. Okay, for the inner corner, I'm gonna go into this shade right here and go into it dry first just to see what pigment we get. Ooh, ooh, that's pretty. It's like a really beautiful icy pink pearl color. I'm gonna bring whatever's left on the brush into the inner corner and really brighten that area up. And then I'm also going to take that brush and kind of just like do this with it and kind of open that eye. Okay, so I'm back and I'm having issues. I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but it's happening to me today. So I'm having issues with the shadow sticking to 2 spots on my eyelid. I have buffed it and buffed it and buffed it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the deal is, but it's not coming out. So it's just gonna have to stay there with cute little dots on there. And I guess it's just gonna be like a part of a signature mark. I don't know. So I also picked up this mascara. This I didn't pick up half off. This was actually a new mascara by Marc Jacobs. It's called At Lash'd, which is kind of a cute name for it. So online it looks gold, but if you look at the packaging, it's black stripes. Do you see those black stripes in that gold? It looks really cool, huh? So excited to try it because of this brush. Because I have smaller lashes, whenever I use a mascara with a big brush, it's so hard to use. So we're gonna go ahead and apply some of the mascara on this eye. Okay, so that's the first coat. I like to normally put on about 3 coats of mascara on my real lashes. Okay, so that's one eye done. I like the wand. The wand is nice and narrow and it's easier to get into that inner corner. For me personally, I don't love this mascara because it's a little bit hard to work with when it comes to how clumpy it is. So you can see that it just really stuck to, so I put some individual lashes like right here in this area. And recently I've been doing that with the new mascara from, what's it called? From Huda, and even the one from Anastasia, and it works really well. But for some reason with this particular formula, it just got really weird and like clumpy. On the real lashes, it looks okay. But on the individuals, not so much. But okay, so I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath lip pencil. I love this formula. It lasts for so long. It's waterproof, budge proof, it's awesome. It's the Perma Gel Ultra Lip Pencil. I have it in the shade Supernatural. Really hard to put lip liner on lumpy lips. Okay, so I wiped that off because I was struggling to get that lip liner to carve out my lips. I don't know why, but I was struggling. It's almost like I need a darker shade right now. So I picked up the KKW Beauty in nude number 3, I think. No, this is Nude II. Now I'm going to go in with the lipstick using the same one, the Camellia. How to put on lip liner on lumpy lips 101. Oh my gosh, that is difficult. So this is the final look, and even though I struggled through quite a bit of it, it turned out really good. So far, I'm really, really loving the foundation. Like, really loving this. I like how you can still kind of see my skin peeking through. It looks really natural, but also it's not building up in any places, and it's going over my texture and my wrinkles really nicely. So far, I love the foundation. The concealer, so far, I'm still absolutely loving. Like, love this concealer. I will, pin a comment in the video and letting you guys know all about the updates on the products that I used today. The mascara, I can kind of tell it's just probably not going to work out for me. Maybe once I get my eyelashes to grow out on this side, maybe I might use it more. It looks really good though. Don't get me wrong. It does look good. It's just a really clumpy mascara. So you have to be careful with a clumpy mascara, and you have to really like a clumpy mascara. So if you like a clumpy mascara, then this is a great one. The palette so far, I mean, it's Pat McGrath. I am seeing some like issues with blending, and I don't know if it's the palette or just me and my technique, or you guys know I used concealer as my base. Normally I use P. Louise eyeshadow base for my base. I can't really judge this based on the palette. I have a feeling that this dotty stuff might just be that I didn't use the P. Louise base and I should have. So that could be the reason why it looks so funky. I'm just not sure. Primer oil, I'm very interested in, even though I just doubled, tripled up on my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. But this is very interesting base. I'm gonna have to look into this. I kind of like this. I didn't really want to, but tomorrow I'm gonna use it with my Pat McGrath foundation that I've been wearing recently a lot, just to kind of see how it wears with the Pat McGrath. It might be too oily for the Pat McGrath. I'm just not sure. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I will also be doing a Hourglass haul that I took advantage of their recent friends and family sale. So I bought a bunch of stuff from Hourglass. That video will be coming up very soon. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.